Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Kat, and today we're going to be checking in on how my main goal of reading down my physical TBR is going this year. And spoiler alert, terrible. So I'm going to be going over every book that's left on my physical TBR, and it's a lot. I started off 2023 with 124 books on it, and I think right now I have 115. So I haven't only read like 9 books. I've read a lot, but I'm having the issue of I keep buying more books, and I'm not prioritizing my physical books over library, and this needs to change. So I'm very much realizing that if I do want to reach this goal, I have to get much more motivated and get very intense about reading all of these books down. But yeah, there's a lot, and I'm going to go over all of them today, and let me know down in the comments, please, if there's any of these unread books that I have that you would recommend that I read, because I need help. I need to know which ones I should go for. If there's any that you think I should just like unhaul, also let me know. And yeah, please get prepared, get ready, and here's all the books that I have to read. So I'm just gonna be filming this way because this is what's easiest for me, but let's look at this shelf up here, which this is so high. And I have Hyperion by Dan Simmons and Dune by Frank Herbert. Both of these, to be very honest, I'm putting off reading because I think they're both gonna be pretty dense and I'm not really looking forward to them. So coming on down here to my next sci-fi shelf, I have Dark Age and Iron Gold by Pierce Brown. They are both books in the Red Rising series, books 4 and 5, and I really want to get to them soon. I just have not gotten to it yet. I'm on book 3 right now, so I am going to get to these soon, hopefully. It's just taking a little bit of time. Then I have A Closed and Common Orbit by Becky Chambers. I have the first book on another shelf, but on my TBR actually for this month. But this is book 2 in her Wayfarers series, which is just people traveling through space and doing things. That's a terrible explanation, but I don't really know yet because I haven't started the series. Over here at Camp Zero, this is something to do with a climate crisis that's destroyed the world, and now there's like this one place, Camp Zero, that's like the one good place left with like the environment and everything. Terrible explanation, again, don't know. The Institute by Stephen King. This is something about kids in an institute who have superpowers, and I do really want to get to it. A Million Worlds with You by Claudia Gray. This is her, what is it called? Firebird trilogy, which is amazing. It's about travel through parallel universes and is honestly so good. I just like cannot bring myself to read the third one because I don't want to end the series, which is so stupid. But the first 2 books are like 2 of my favorite sci-fi books that I've ever read. Then I have The Testaments by Margaret Atwood, which is the sequel to The Handmaid's Tale, so I do want to get to that soon. The Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. This is in a dystopian future where a woman, I believe, creates like her own type of religion, and I am very interested again because I love all of Octavia E. Butler's books. Okay, down here, Prince of the Blood by Raymond D. Feist. I'm kind of putting this one off because it's the first in the trilogy, but apparently it's in like 10 in a series, even though it's like its own trilogy, but there's apparently a bunch of other books that you're supposed to read before this one. Age of Myth by Michael J. Sullivan. Then Engines of Empire by R.S. Ford. I don't know, I'm putting this one off for some reason. It sounds interesting, but the reviews seem a little iffy. Trail of Lightning by Rebecca Roanhorse. Dragon Bones by Patricia Briggs. Then book 1 isn't here, but it also has to be read. So The Rune of Kings, The Name of All Things, and The Memory of Souls by Jen Lyons. I'm reading book 1 this month, so it's just over on my TBR shelf, but I'm really excited to get to this series because it sounds good. It sounds very interesting. Then Inkblood, Sister Scribe by Emma Torres, and The Helm of Midnight by Marina Lostader. So going down to this shelf, and by the way, all the gaps are just either books that I've lent to friends or that are over on my TBR shelf. So Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. I'm rereading Ninth House first before I get to this one, so I just need to finish that first. Then what's next? Burning Water by Mercedes Lackey. I think I might get rid of this one because I have not liked any of the Mercedes Lackey's books I've read recently. Spellbringer by Charlie N. Holmberg. And down to the next shelf. So a lot of the ones here are books that I do want to read. I just have several others in series to read first. So like Crossroads of Twilight, Winter's Heart, Knife of Dreams, Gathering Storm, they're all Wheel of Time books, but I just need to read the other installations first. And then like I have Golden Fool here and Dragon Haven by Robin Hood. I just need to read those ones, the ones that come before it first. Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson, book 4 in the Stormlight Archives. It is on this month's TBR. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. I don't know, I'm a little iffy because I know it's historical and that's not something I enjoy. Then Gardens of the Moon by Stephen Erickson. Again, very iffy because apparently Malazan is insanely difficult to get into, but apparently it's also worth it. And down we go. This is my romance shelf. So As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow, this is about the revolution in Syria, and the ratings are ridiculously good on this one. And everyone I've seen who's read it has said it like just destroyed them. Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. Then Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. Obviously need to get this one like as soon as possible. And A Holly Jolly Diwali and For Her Consideration. Oh, also actually, P.S. I Love You. So those are all the romances. And this shelf is thrillers. So I need to read The Last Word by Taylor Adams, 0 Days by Ruth Ware, which was an arc that I got and I was so excited about it. I just haven't picked it up yet. False Witness by Karen Slaughter. I need to check if this is the one I'm thinking of. It's like book 7 in a series and I might just get rid of it. The Witch Elm by Tana French. And what else? Oh yeah, The Girl Who Played with Fire by Stieg Larsson. I honestly really don't want to pick this one up. I loved The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but it's been so many years that I know I'll have to reread this one, so I kind of don't want to do this one. And now this is the nonfiction and like historical-ish books. So for nonfiction, I just have The Gene by Siddhartha Mukherjee, and then also, You Know You Want This by Kristen Rupinian. So those are the only nonfiction. And then I have Jane Eyre to read also over here. And this is the fantasy romance shelf. So let me move this candle. And Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice. I think I'm going to read this in October. I feel like this is a good time for it. The 5 Deaths of Roxanne Love. Don't really know anything about this one and I'm debating getting rid of it. The Hall of Vows by Lexi Ryan. I actually love this series. It's very like ACOTAR ripoff, but I like it still. Amaryllis by Jane Castle. Fortune is Sworn by KJ Sutton. I really, really want to get to this one soon. Then 3 books by Nora Roberts in like a magical witchy trilogy. And that is it for that shelf. All right, A Taste of Golden Iron, I really want to get to soon. Empire the Vampire, again, want to get to soon. Jade City, Jade War, I think I'm going to love these, so, need to get to them soon also. And The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. After reading Babel by her, I need to read all of the rest of her books ASAP. And up here we go. Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. Very anticipated for me, need to read soon. Shanghai Immortal by A.Y. Chow. I don't know anything about it, but it was one of my subscriptions. Sing Me to Sleep by Gabby Burton. I've seen a few people say they really like this one, so I'm interested. The Scythe Trilogy by Neil Shusterman. I read Scythe a while ago, like years ago, so I definitely need to reread it before I get into the other two, but I am excited because I know I loved the first one. In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. So incredibly excited about this one because The House on the Cerulean Sea is like one of my all-time favorite books. Then up here again to more fantasy. So Foundry Side by Robert Jackson Bennett. This sounds really cool. The Witcher is book 1, 2, and 3. I love The Witcher. I love the show. I need to get to these. I don't know why. I'm just kind of scared. Liza Lochlamora. I might unhaul this one. I've tried to read it twice and DNF'd it twice. And I'm forcing myself to give one more try, but, there's a good chance it's going bye-bye. Then what else on here? Blood Song by Anthony Ryan. I don't know a lot about it, but I am excited. The Black Tongue Thief. I've heard a lot of people say this is really good. And down. Caliban's War and Abaddon's Gate by James S. Corey. I read Leviathan Wakes, which is books 1 in this series. Loved it. Really, really excited to get to the rest of these. The Three Body Problem and Death's End by Six-Wing Liu. So this is book 1 and 3. I don't have book 2, but I really want to read this trilogy. Velocity Weapon by Megan O'Keefe. This is another one where I've DNF'd it twice, but I don't know. I kept saying I was just not in the headspace for it, so I'm gonna give it one more try and then see if I like it. Seven Eyes by Neil Stevenson. One of my friends told me this was like her husband's all-time favorite book, so you know, I immediately went out and got it. Calculating Stars by Marie Robinette Kowal. Desert Creatures. Then down here, The Curse of Saints by Kate Dramas. The Book of Eve by Maeve Clothier. The Witch and the Tsar by Olena Seleniskova Gilmore, and Shield Maiden by Sharon Emmerichs. These 3 are from the Goldboro subscription, which I got very shortly, and I do want to do a video just like taste testing this subscription, but you know, I got these books in like January, February, March, so it feels like it's maybe too late, but I still want to do it. The Sun and the Void by Gabriela Romero La Cruz. We All File Down by Rose Sabo. This one is apparently terrible, and I really should unhaul it. I just kind of like the sprayed edges to it, which are these. But apparently it's deeply problematic, and the reviews are like one of the worst I've ever seen on a book online. Okay, so Fireborn and Flamefall. These are both dragon books, so yay, can't wait for that. We Free the Stars, and then also here should be We Hunt the Flames. It is a YA duology that's apparently amazing, but book 1's on my TBR right now. Twin Crowns, then Witch King by Martha Wells, Cruel Illusions, and The Darkening. So a lot of these are like Fairy Loot or Illumigate books. Also, hi, I was watching Lipsticks earlier. And down here, so no, I did read that. I've read this, I think. Crown of Feathers by Pau Pratu, Into the Blood Red Woods, and This Woven Kingdom. Then final shelf here, and these are all of my like contemporary books. So Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna, The Wishing Game by Meg Schaffer, On Beauty by Zadie Smith, Eleanor Oliphant's Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman, The Forgotten Garden by Kate Morton, The Authenticity Project by Claire Pooley, The Distant Hours by Kate Morton, The Secret Keeper by Kate Morton. Okay, and now just we have my TBR books. So I have 2 shelves of TBR books. This is the first one. I've read these 2 before, I'm just rereading them. So Seven Faceless Saints, The Foxglove King, One Dark Window, and Divine Rivals. And then if we go over here too, these are my library books, but over here also, this is more like my magical TBR for the month. We have The Verna Kings by Jen Lyons, which I talked about, Long Way to a Small Angry Planet I talked about, Hunt of Flames I talked about, Heart of the Sun Warrior, this is the sequel to Daughter of the Moon Goddess, and then Belladonna by Adeline Grace. So yeah, that was just an incredibly quick overview of all the books on my TBR and everything that I need to get to in the next few months. So wish me luck. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.